how many of you want to detox from the sugar? Yeah, you are thinking that sugar is the culprit. I get a lot of sugar cravings, and because of that, I fall off the wagon and I don't lose my weight. Let's understand, what sugar is all about. Yes, yeah, it is very important to understand what sugar, the truth about sugar. So it is so crucial in understanding its impact on our health and well-being, and of course the weight. Yeah, so we all know there are different types of sugars, and we always get confused. People ask that, if I eat too much of fructose, that will also lead to a lot of weight gain, right? So again, it is very important to understand that there are different types of sugar. One is natural sugar. Natural sugar, we all know, that is found in your fruits. Yeah, whatever we are eating, there has little sugar in everything, right? So those are called as natural sugar, which is there in our fruits, in our vegetables, in our dairy products. Okay, and these are all part of your whole food and come with the nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals, right? We are eating fruits and vegetables on a day-to-day basis. We are taking dairy in one or the other form, right? In the form of a curd or in the form of a milk or chai, whatever you are taking, consuming. And through that, we are getting nutrients as well. No question about that. That is your natural sugar. Second category of sugar comes your added sugar. Now, what we should be conscious about or cautious about is the added sugar. Okay, so what is this added sugar all about? So sugars that are added to your foods during processing or preparation, right? Like your tomato ketchup ho gaya aapka, and then your pickles, right? We all know that preservatives are there, or the packed food, whatever we are eating, the soups, right? They all have sugars in it as a preservative. It can be, to preserve the thing, or maybe to add flavors to the things. So those are added sugars, which can be in the form of table sugar or syrups or ingredients in packed foods. Okay, so these added sugars are sometimes so hidden sugars also. We call them the hidden sugars in the common food, and most of us consume without knowing that we are consuming sugar. I'm not eating, I've completely stopped eating sugar, even then I'm not losing weight. Yeah, you have completely stopped eating sugar, which is visible to your eyes, but there are hidden sugars also, right? That's what we have just I just spoke about. The hidden sugars are there in your processed food, like canned soup, salad dressings. Yes, salad dressings is another major culprit. Okay, your frozen dinners often contain added sugars. Your beverages, like your sodas. Okay, if it's a plain soda, it's a different thing. But if you are taking sodas in any other form, sugars, they have added sugars in that. Or your fruit juices and your coffees, they can add significant sources of your sugar in your day-to-day diet without even you realizing that you are consuming sugar. So it's very important to understand that we are getting sugar one or the other ways. Okay, and then comes your snacks and sweets as well. Yeah, snacks and sweets, obviously things like your candies, cookies, cakes contain sugar, and again, the items like your granola bars and your yogurt, if you are consuming a flavored yogurt, okay, flavored, that is why I always recommend go with the plain yogurt and then adds fruit to that. So at least you are getting the natural sugar rather than added sugar from a flavored yogurts. Okay, so now we know hidden sugars are there, and we know what are natural sugars, what are added sugars. Now, what is the impact of consuming sugar on our health and well-being? That is very important to understand, because once we understand how it impacts our body and how to read the labels, right, having the sugars in it, it will be helpful in maintaining our health lifelong. Okay. So what are the effects of, if I talk about the sugar consumption, then consuming too much of sugar can have several negative health impacts. And we all know that, okay? First one, we are all scared about is the weight gain, right? So they are high in calories, so obviously contribute to obesity. And then your blood sugar spikes. So high intake of sugar can lead to fluctuations in your blood sugar levels, which can be particularly harmful if you already have a diabetes, isn't it? And then a heart disease. Studies have linked high sugar consumption to an increased risk of heart diseases and, of course, the cavities in our teeth, and it also can lead to cancers. Yes, so some research suggests that excessive sugar intake can also lead to certain type of cancer. So these are the negative effect, and some of you might be experiencing as well, in the form of a diabetes, in the form of tooth decay, right, or in the form of a heart disease. Right? So these are all there anyways. So we all know now how we can reduce this, how we can be a smart consumer, that we are automatically able to detect that sugar is there, and we should be able to eliminate that sugar. So what are the tips for reducing the sugar intake? So reducing sugar intake can be beneficial step. Obviously, it's a beneficial step towards a healthier diet. So number one thing is we should be able to read the labels. Very important. Now, what is this reading label? When we see any pack, if you are buying any processed thing, any packaged things, there is a label behind it, right? So it is very important to read and understand and familiar, with that label, that how to read that label. Added sugars are there, natural sugars, under the carbohydrate, it shows up, right? So very important if we start reading the labels. And second thing, what we can do in order to reduce our sugar consumption is choose whole foods. Okay, focus on a diet which is rich in whole foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and we all know they have natural sugars, right? And then comes your reduce sugary beverages. Of course, yes. Instead, you can opt for plain water or herbal teas or unsweetened beverages rather than going with the fruit juices, going with those mocktails and cocktails, right? With the added, especially in the mocktails, right? They add a lot of sugars in that. Yeah. So reduce that. Cut down on the sugary beverages. Yeah. And then, of course, the last thing and the best thing is moderation is the key. Okay, you can never go wrong if you are doing it in a moderation. If you are going to consume sugar, if you are in a party, if you are traveling, you can enjoy sweets on an occasional treat, but of course not as a daily habit. Okay, so sugar in moderation is part of your balanced diet, but excessive consumption can lead to serious health issues. And awareness, mindful eating are the key in managing your sugar intake.